Hi, everybody.
Hello.
It's the live show. Wait, I've got it on Steve. There we go.
That's
Look
not
how,
Steve. That's Baby Forbes.
look how cute he is. He's the cutest baby in the whole world. Just ask me. Oh, that was nice of Dorothy to ask. Yes, we've been hanging out with Forbes for a couple of days. And oh my gosh, he's so cute. I can't stand it. Fattest little cheeks you could ever hope to squeeze.
Yep.
He's weighing in at 20 pounds. It's 6 months. All right, let's see. We've got a lively crowd already. There's something still. I got to figure this out. Something doesn't sound right on my audio yet lately. I feel like it's like I got a saran wrappy sound, Steve.
On your voice right now?
Yeah. It's like a high frequency thing.
A slight one. It's like when you talk, there's a little added crispness.
Yeah, not quite what I'm looking for.
Crinkliness.
Um,
It's like the gain on your voice is turned up.
Let me
and
turn.
So it's picking up other background stuff as you talk, but only when you talk.
Yeah. Okay, I'm bringing down the high frequency stuff. If I bring that down, is that any better?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe maybe that's all I got to do. Looks like I got a peak at 4,000, 4 kilohertz. That sounds a little better to me.
Maybe a little, yeah.
Shape it a little bit. All right, let me do a test for playback here. I'm going to do a recording. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeed.com. Did that record? That's weird.
I don't hear it.
Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeed.com. What did I just trigger? Oh, I triggered like a whole new... Man, I just hit a weird key. I didn't know it would do that. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeed.com. All right, let's hear this. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeed.com.
Yep.
You heard it?
Loud and clear.
Good. Not too loud, not too clear.
Not too bad.
All right. So Kevin snuck in under the wire. Let's see.
I
was going to take
Mark barely snuck in.
Oh man!
Wow,
the boys
that's close.
Come in late. Well, I guess it was because I tweeted that Kevin didn't leave anybody in charge of taking care of Steve while he was gone, so he had to get in. All right, we've got Steve and Brett and Kevin and Nick and Dan and I think Joe might actually be there. Oh, Kiwi Spoon!
Wow,
you haven't been here in forever. And let's see, Joe and Dorothy and Sandy and Mark have not seen Kiwi Spoon in months. Nice to have you back. Now you're going to challenge me to remember your real name, right?
I got it.
Steve has a cheat sheet. Help me out here, Steve.
Welcome back, Stephen.
Stephen.
Welcome back, Stephen from New Zealand. Oh, well, right. No, actually a New Zealander who lives in Australia.
Oh, all right.
Kiwi Spoon.
Kiwi Spoon. Hard to get time off on Mondays, I bet. Let's see. Let me see. It's 2 p.m. in Monday in New Zealand. Oh, but I don't know about Australia. That was New Zealand.
Depends on where he is in Australia, or she. No, Stephen's probably a he.
All right. Okay, well, we should probably get started here. Preview. There we go. There we go. Let's get this show on the road.
Yes, let's do it.
Oh, no, wait. First, we have to show you what Steve got me.
Yes, isn't that cute?
Yep, I'm going to freeze it on me so that when you talk about how adorable it is, they can still see it.
And show them the little tiny floppy disks that come with it.
Yeah, it is here.
It's the 1/4 inch floppy.
So here's what I found really interesting. This is the 38mm Series Zero watch, and I'm wearing this Series 2. So I pulled this out, charged it up, and you'll notice that it says, come on, it says it's 9:05 p.m. It's 5:04 p.m. It also says it's Saturday the 3rd. So this is not paired to my watch or to my phone. And apparently it's like, I got no idea. I don't know what time it is. I don't know. So I thought that was kind of interesting. By the way, this is rubbery. I pictured this being hard plastic. It's a soft rubber. It's very pleasing. And feeding the little hockey puck in there wasn't hard at all. So I was going to use this as a night clock, but I didn't realize that night mode doesn't, or what do they call it? Nightstand mode doesn't leave it on. Why wouldn't it leave it on? What good is it as a night clock if it's not on? In fact, I don't even understand what it's for.
Yeah. For instance, Alistair's night clock app.
Yeah, it stays on. Why wouldn't you want it on? Oh, Rose snuck in late.
We actually had three people.
By 3.
Late by 3. Who was George?
That's got to be George.
We got NC 55270 who joined us, and Rose.
Oh, NC 55270. Is that Chris?
I don't know. Chris.
My friend Chris.
Ashley?
My friend Chris Graves confessed that he comes in and lurks, and he never tells anybody his name.
Chris will love that.
That's pretty funny. All right. Okay, let's see. Anybody else sneaking in here? Yeah, we got George in there. Can't believe Steven's back. That's so fun. All right. Go on mute there, dear.
Going on mute now.
Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com, a technology geek podcast with an ever so slight Macintosh bias. Today is Sunday, January 29th, 2017, and this is show number 612. On this week's Chit Chat Across the Pond, I was lucky enough to get Joe Duganzik from Smarter Home Life to come on the show to talk about home automation. We talked about the complexities of home automation today. He gave us predictions about who he thinks the winners might be as the industry consolidates and some of the coolest home automation ideas he saw at CES. Joe is on fire with his YouTube channel. Check it out, youtube.com/smarterhomelife. He produces fantastic content as he tracks this fast advancing technology. He's got a website, he's got articles he's written, he's got this YouTube channel. He is really, if you want to follow home automation, this is the guy. And he's got an ever so slight Apple bias, I have to say. Anyway, I had a blast with Joe, and I definitely plan on having him back. All right, let's kick into the show and hear about a connected hearing aid at CES from Oticon. So when Steve's nephew was little, he was he's still really, really smart. He finished college at like 16 and graduated as a lawyer by the time he was 22. Anyway, he was very good at flashcards, and he really enjoyed doing them. And he got very energetic when he would tell you what was on the flashcard.
You might want to give him the age.
Oh, yeah, 22.
Yeah,
oh, no.
Flashcards at 22, and he's an attorney.
Right. How old was he? Like 2?
I think. I don't think maybe 3 at the most.
No, I don't think he was
maybe 2, because he was just starting to talk. Yeah.
Yeah, he was crazy young. Anyway, when so the flashcards were like letters and actually no, it was shapes mostly. And when he got to Octagon, he would lose his ever-loving mind. We have this video of him like going, circle, square, and then he gets to Octagon and he goes, Octagon! So every time Steve and I read the name of this hearing aid company, we both want to go, Octagon!
And people just don't understand it when we're in the middle of the CES show floor doing that. I don't know what it is.
You're like, Octagon! Oh, well, we entertain ourselves, right? Let's see. CES. Out of that. And
Terry made it in.
Terry Austin, how are you? How long is your beard? I feel like we should have a little blip in between CES interviews. Like a little sound effect.
I could go. I have a blip sound effect.
Do you? Do you want to give me one right now? How fast could you?
I'd have to go. It'd probably take a while.
Let me list this. At CES from Oticon. Hearing aids are becoming a way of life for an awful lot of people, old and young, and it looks like this company, Oticon, is looking to maybe make things a little bit easier with your hearing aids. So I'm with Michael Porsbo in the Oticon booth, and he's going to... So the audio sounds really good on that one, Steve.
No, it's still pretty loud here.
Noise. No, but a lot less noise.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure, because I had the settings, what I thought was the same on all of them, all the recordings. I don't know.
It might be, this was CES proper, and in some ways, I think that was less noise than what we got at the smaller booths, right?
I think depending on where you are on the show, that was not a real crowded portion of the floor.
Yeah.
You do get less noise.
Yeah, it was interesting. Let me see, which one would be the most interesting to play a little bit of? Because if I just The show is mostly reviews now, or interviews.
What were the 4 again?
So we've got Otacon or Otacon, Shadecraft. Then I'm going to do the TV Mocha thing. Ring might be the good one. And then Whoosh. Whoosh is funny. I like Whoosh because it's super nerdy.
I think the audio part of Shadecraft is pretty good.
Okay. All right, I'll play that one. Into the show and hear about a connected hearing aid at CES from Otacon. Hearing aids are becoming a way of life for an awful lot of people, old and young, and it looks like this company, Otacon. Should I pronounce it Otacon? Maybe I should re-record that little bit.
Yeah.
All right, let's kick into the show. Yeah, I think it will. Be distracting if nothing else. So I called it Otacon, right? When I was with the guy. All right. Mute.
Oh, yep. Going on mute now.
Steve's in a very silly mood tonight. All right, let's kick into the show, and we're going to talk to a company called Otacon. Actually, no. Better idea. All right, let's kick into the show and start with another interview from the CES show floor. One more time. All right, let's kick into the show, and we're going to start with an interview from the CES show floor. So, you know what? Did I already talk during the show, Steve, about our disappointment with being able to find the accessibility pavilion? I think I did already.
During a previous blog post or podcast?
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, because that's why the guy wrote back to me, and I forgot to write to that guy. Show, and we're going to start with an interview from the CES show floor. You over just a smidge. Did the lurker ever admit to being Chris? Start with an interview from the CES show floor.
So not explicitly, but he or she did say, "Hey, Allison." So probably is Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Ghibli's.
Ghibli's is in. Yay! She's coming here to. Okay, so there's a challenge on the Apple Watch to get all the rings filled for a full week during the month of January. And you get some sort of special badge. And in my family, we always did whatever the opposite everybody else did. So one of our big things was we never, ever, ever went to church on Christmas or Easter, but we'd go all the other Sundays of the year. So I was kind of being belligerent, and I wasn't going to try to get the circles. But then Steve and Pat were all like, "Oh, you got to get the circle, you got to get the ring." Okay, fine. So this morning I was up at 5:30 in the morning with Forbes on and off till about 8. And so I figured I'd get a lot of credit for today for other things other than the actual exercise I was doing. And at 8 o'clock, I realized at 8:45, I realized I hadn't put my watch on, which means I'm probably going to get the exercise credit because I've almost closed that ring already, my 600 calories for the day, but I may not get the stand credit. So to lose a full week of credit just because I didn't do the stands would really irritate me. So at 5:30, I have an alarm set to go off, and Ghibli's is in the chat room to remind me to stand up at 5:30. So, by the way, Lindsay, this is how I opened the show like this. Whee! It looks brighter than I thought. Wow, I have that brightness way down.
He's a very bright child.
Oh, he is. He's the brightest. He's a genius too. He's not just cute. There, that looks better.
My one, I don't know if people can read what the shirt.
Oh, he's got a shirt on that is the periodic table of the elements. And it says, "I wear this shirt periodically."
He's also very humorous kid.
His mother, the chemist, is who bought him that. So, hey, I bumped the desk and my clock went on. Lindsay, I don't know if you saw this, but it's I want to call it Elgato, but it's not Elago. Boy, that's bright.
It's pretty bright, yeah.
If I do this, if I shade, you can see little tiny Mac. Not adorable. Har, 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 Ghibli says. He's so bright because of his grandfather. Do you think that's what it is? All right. So let's see. Let's catch the end of that.
Yeah, Kevin is correct there.
About what?
Oh, about him being bright.
Oh, that's what it is here. Okay. Here we go. I thought Michael was a really interesting combination of enthusiastic about what they've done with the OPN hearing aid, and at the same time trying really hard to set expectations that this technology wasn't going to change the world. Instead, he was really committed to making small things easier for those with hearing aids. It was an interesting interview all around, and we really enjoyed talking to him. Hit the wrong keystroke sometimes. I just hit the keystroke. That's how you stop screen flow. Command Option Shift 2, or is it a Command Shift 2? All right, let's see how that breaks in. I thought Michael was a really what is that chunk at the beginning?
One of the recordings, there was
No, it sounds like this was at the beginning of me talking. There was like
it may be the end of the recording that I couldn't fade out fast enough.
Let's see. I thought Michael was a
maybe not.
It was me. So let me slide that out. I don't know what, it was just a little crackle at the beginning. I thought Michael was a really interesting.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thanks for stopping by.
I thought Michael was a really okay. That's good. Save. I did not tell Notification Center to come up. Jeez. Okay. Let's see. So that was Octagon. Lindsay, we just told the story of David and his Octagon flashcards. Because the company we were interviewing was called Octagon. Okay, Shadecraft is up.
You gonna play this one?
Yeah, why not? Now I can play in the chat room. Check this. Right. Interview all around, and we really enjoyed talking to him. A little bit more pause. And we really enjoyed talking to him.
I'm talking to Armin Garbigian from, I did it already, Shadecraft, and you guys are doing something nobody else is doing. What are you doing here?
Well, we're creating the world's first autonomous shading system that connects people to the Internet of Things and the smart home ecosystem with AI integration. So we're bringing all of the stuff you see here outdoors for the first time.
So what he means by all the stuff we're seeing here is this is a whole lot of home automation.
A whole lot of home automation that will interface with us, but it's all in the home. So it being a Los Angeles firm, we said, guys, we need to go in the sun.
Hey, we're from LA. That sounds good to us.
We got to bring this technology outside. I mean, that's one of the campaigns, Step Outside. You'll see it everywhere. So
I love it. So what we're looking at here, this is audio and video, by the way. We're looking at what looks to be a parasol, a classic parasol that you stand up and then you spend all your time trying to get it lined up so you're actually in the shade. That's not what yours does.
No, it automatically aligns itself, follows the sun's azimuth, and provides security through its security cameras, connects to the Internet of Things through AI integration, plays your music, controlled lighting through our application. So it pretty much does everything except juice your oranges. At this point, but we're working on it.
That'll come next. So how does it know how to shade you?
Well, there's sensors on it. So there's basically proximity sensors that know where you are. There's facial recognition sensors on it.
Wow.
Yeah. So we are working on multitude of different products in the future. Our first product, Sunflower, which we'll release this year to the consumer, will have 2 cameras on it and a few of the sensors. But as we showcase some of our other products in the future, you'll start seeing more complex systems out of our company.
Well, that sounds pretty interesting. I was just excited that it would keep me in the shade.
Yes.
It does a lot more than that. But so how do you know? Oh, she was telling us about what happens if it rains.
Well, if it rains, it'll close. But the great thing is you'll never find this in your neighbor's house. That's for sure. Because it'll recoil when the wind picks up. Aside from the fact that it knows at a certain day that the wind is at certain speeds because it's intelligent. So.
Oh, wow. So it's not going to blow away.
Definitely
it's going to fold itself up in the rain. Now, what if I'm standing under it when it folds up? Is it going to fold up on me?
It will ask you to move because it wants to recoil.
Really? Oh, it's polite too.
Yes, it is.
What is it?
What happened?
I don't know, but it just stopped.
Your hearing aid.
Well, we were all.
That's weird. Oh, I must have bumped it. Shoot. What do you think we were in that?
And then you spend all your time trying to get it lined up so you're actually in the shade. That's not what you're.
Is that anywhere near where we were? Was anybody listening?
I think it was farther than that.
To the consumer, we'll have 2 cameras on it and a few of the sensors, but as we showcase some of our other products in the future, you'll start seeing more complex systems out of our company.
Well, that sounds pretty interesting. I was just excited that it would keep me in the shade.
Yes.
It does a lot more than that. But so how do you know? Oh, she was telling us about what happens if it rains.
Well, if it rains, it'll close, but the great thing is you'll never find this in your neighbor's house, that's for sure, because it'll recoil when the wind picks up, aside from the fact that it knows at a certain day that the wind is at certain speeds because it's intelligent. So.
Oh, wow. So it's not going to blow away.
Definitely
it's going to
not.
fold itself up in the rain. Now, what if I'm standing under it when it folds up? Is it going to fold up on me?
It will ask you to move because it wants to recoil.
Really? Yeah. Oh, it's polite too.
Yes, it is.
Well, does it say please?
We're going to have to work on that.
Yeah, I don't want it just going, move! All right, this is very cool.
We're really excited because we know that it's a one-of-a-kind project and a one-of-a-kind product in the world. And the press we're getting and the interest we're getting worldwide is fantastic.
Yeah, so, this is great. So where would we learn more about Sunflower and Shade?
Well, I would love for you guys to come to the booth 2 days from now.
Where would they find out?
Well, go to the website, connect to the social media.
And the website is?
shadecraft.com.
There you go. There you go. I got him. It took him a while to come around, but we pulled it off. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
That just cracks me up how hard of a time I have getting people to tell me their URL. Okay, that was funny there. That cracks me up how hard it is for me to get someone to tell me the URL for their website. I throw it up in every single method I can think of. You'll hear me at the end of every interview trying to get people to say where their website is, and they just, it's like, poof. I've asked a lot of people, you'll hear them, they'll go Amazon. Okay, that's the way you could go. Anyway, I sure thought Shadecraft looked really, really cool. Maybe it's because it's really sunny out here, but I liked their idea of taking tech outside. I thought that was a really interesting perspective to stop being inside, come outside. And there's a lot of promise to Shadecraft, and it'll be interesting to see whether they can really do all of the things they said they were going to do. Well, I continue to be delighted by how many of you have chosen to support the NosillaCast through Patreon. Both Paul Markham and our good friend Raleigh Bernard signed up this week. They simply went to podfeed.com/Patreon and chose a weekly amount to contribute to support the show. Once they set up the account, they can tweak the settings to make sure they've got a monthly cap on their contributions as well. I really appreciate the support of those who can afford it, and I'm equally glad if you can't afford it and that you don't try to go do it. Hey, I've got an idea. We haven't had an iTunes review in ages, probably because I don't plug it enough. So if you have more time than money, pop in there when you've got a moment and throw us some love that way.
I didn't know Raleigh became a Patreon.
Yeah, he did. He wrote to me saying,
patron.
He wrote to me again and said, how is it you do the dollar limit again? The monthly limit? I sent him the link. So
that's cool.
That has opened up the doors for a lot of people to just go, oh, well, okay, well, I can do it if I can set a monthly limit, because, $1 a week, clearly you don't get that kind of value out of this show. Right? Should get it for free. All right.
I think that's an option.
Wait. What is Chris talking about? KWIRC.com. That's the Kiwi IRC. That's what I'm using for the website, for the embedded client. Did somebody ask him what they were using? What he was using? I don't know why he just posted that.
Wait, what do you? No.
Oh, he left IRC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He left. Okay.
That's just what he was using. So that just shows that he was on our at the Podfeed website.
Yeah. So now I got to tell you guys who Chris was now that he's gone.
Not that Chris, you like talking behind people's back.
No, but I'll tease him. Chris worked for me for many years. Many years did not work for me, then worked for me, and then didn't work for me again. But we met in 1989 when I started working in an organization called RDAC, and we had sort of a little RDAC reunion last week. And it was really interesting to me, with the exception of one guy. There were 6 of us total, so 5 other people. One guy didn't listen to the show, but the other 4 did. They all either listen or they read, and they were all people that had worked for me or with me at one time or another. So it was kind of neat to know that they were following along. And my friend Ramel, he said, he said, "Oh man, my favorite thing you did was that guy that wrecked your YouTube channel and all the names you called him. That was hilarious. That was classic Alice." So it was kind of fun. I liked it.
What is it about cats?
What is it about cats? What are you talking about? Oh, hang on.
Check it out.
I've got mine focused on you.
You put a box anywhere and a cat will go in it. Doesn't matter what's in the box or where the box is, the cat will go in it.
Nice, Grace. All right, I'm going to actually contribute to the show now. Well, that's not what I wanted to save. Okay, here we go. All right. Hang on. Now I've got it stuck on you. There we go. All right. Oops. Am I back?
I think so. Yeah.
So I disappeared for a minute?
Yeah, that was cute.
So I hit Command R, which is how I do record in Amadeus Pro, except I was sort of in the Google window when I did it.
So Command R means just
refresh.
Blank yourself.
Oops. Hope
Mute the video.
Steve and Grace entertained you while I was gone. Oh well. Here we go. Do you ever have a friend tell you about something and you just kind of nod politely and you don't check it out? Then another friend tells you the same thing, but you don't listen to them either. Finally, you check it out and you realize they were right and it was amazing as they said. You know the kind of conversation I'm talking about. You should try a password manager. Offsite backups are easy now. You should try a Mac. Well, you've heard all of these things and you've ignored them until you finally listened and gave them a try. Well, my example is about the new crop of TiVos. Chris Ashley on the SMR podcast talked like more than a year ago about how he saved a bundle of money by upgrading his TiVos. Then later, Dave Hamilton of the Mac Geek Gab said the same thing. In my head, I thought, oh, sure, this is too good to be true. But it turns out they were right. Okay. Can you mute, by the way? Okay.
Muted now.
I was hoping to make it to the end of the paragraph without having to stop and tell you.
Do you want me to read it?
Yes. Okay.
Oh, I could use some text. Do you want to send it on my?
It's on the blog. Love that way. Do you ever have a friend? So I don't think it's in the recording. It's just, it's hard to concentrate when I hear you sniffing and such. Here we go. But it turns out they were right. All right, here we go. All right. I'll explain more as I walk through the problem Steve and I were trying to solve and how we finally got what they were trying to tell us. So Steve and I had a cable box from Frontier, our TV and Fios internet provider, and 3 aging TiVos, giving us TV in 4 different rooms. We bought these TVs over time, and the very newest one, a Premier Series 3 HD, was like 6 or 7 years old. We love TiVo, and evidently we love regular TV. You know what, cord cutters? You probably don't want to listen to this whole thing because you're going to just laugh at us. Anyway, to use a TiVo, you have to pay a monthly fee in order to get the program guide. But one of our TiVos, the oldest one, had lifetime service, so we only had to pay it on 2 of them, not 3 of them. Sadly, that oldest one, the one in Steve's study, started to fail. The symptom was a glitchy signal, so we assumed it was a cable card, and Steve got a hold of Frontier and they replaced it for us. But that didn't fix the problem. Then we noticed a whine coming from the device, so we thought and kind of hoped maybe it was a dying hard drive. There's a place called Weak Knees that will sell you replacement drives formatted for the TiVo. You can do it yourself, but you have to like hunt down a Linux box and do all this folderol and everything, but you just pay Weak Knees for it. They specialize in helping people repair and upgrade their TiVos. The good news is Weak Knees turns out to be really close to our house, so Steve was able to just run right over there and get the drive on the same day. But the bad news is it did not solve the problem. Sorry, I have to stand up now. Wait, where did Steve go? Oh, you're going to see I got shorts on. But you can see my nice Macstock shirt. All right, we're going to keep recording. But now you got a blinding light here, but I got to stand up. I got to get those rings we talked about. Okay, let's see what my watch says. It's in do not disturb, I think. I'm going to take it off do not disturb so it'll tell me when I've got my credit. All right, what did I just say? All right. The last thing I recorded here did not solve the problem. Okay. That got noise on it? It did not solve the problem. I heard some noise there. I don't like that. All right. Did not solve the problem. There we go. All right. Now we're in a dilemma. Do we continue to spend money to try to repair this device? Do we replace the power supply? What if it's the backplane that's got the problem? It really seemed foolish to pour more money into our oldest TiVo, even though it was free on the TiVo service. That's when I started replaying in my head what Chris and Dave had been saying. They both talked about using one TiVo as a main device with a cable card and then broadcasting the recordings out to TiVo minis. The minis are essentially clients that talk back to the big TiVo. Let's call that a server. They claimed the minis didn't need cable cards or a monthly service fee from TiVo. Well, this sounded swell, but I'd never taken this idea seriously because they rely on having a house wired for Ethernet. Our house was built in 1990, well before Ethernet was all the rage. But then Dave started yapping about this MoCA thing. MoCA stands for Multimedia over Coax Alliance, and it basically allows you to transmit Ethernet over a coax cable. Now, obviously, with this many TVs going on and all this money we're spending, we have coax cable. So since the whole goal is to transmit Ethernet to where my TVs are, getting there via the coax cable might actually work for us. Well, in order to take advantage of this MoCA idea, we'd have to spend some money. We'd have to buy an adapter that would take Ethernet from our router and then push that Ethernet signal out to the coax cable. Location was going to be problematic for that, but there might be a way to make it work. We'd also have to buy a new TiVo, which looks like we'd have to do anyway, and then we'd have to buy the TiVo minis to replace all of our existing TiVos. So that would be $80 for the Ethernet to coax adapter, $500 for a 6-tuner TiVo Bolt Plus, which is kind of cool because like you can do all these simultaneous channels and everything and broadcast to the others. It'd be really cool. But then we'd also need $150 each for the TiVo minis. Now we're talking pretty close to $1,000 here. But let's wait until the end of the tech side of the story before you decide that we're already nuts. Okay, so I'm sold on this idea. I think we should do this whole MoCA and TiVos and TiVo mini things. This is going to be great. But I had to convince Steve. You see, Steve has a serious handicap in this whole conversation. He knows too much about electrical routing of signals. He knows what a nightmare of splitters we have inside and outside the house. We got them up in the attic. We got them outside. They're everywhere. He was convinced that there was no way this could possibly work in our house. He did go as far as to go up into the attic and draw a picture of the coax setup, but he remained unconvinced that this would ever work for us. I took his hand-drawn diagram and I made a really pretty version of it in draw.io. I love that free diagramming tool. Seriously, draw.io, go use it. It's really, really fun. Anyway, sometimes I think it's easier to think things out if you've got a nice diagram. We printed it out, and we pointed and we hollered at each other about what could work and what couldn't work. With the diagram, we were able to follow the signal as it would have to travel in our house. So let's say we put the big TiVo in the family room and Steve wants to watch TV in his study. The signal would have to go from the mini in his study to the first attic splitter, to the second attic splitter, to the outdoor splitter, and into the family room TiVo, and then go back through that entire same screwy path. Splitters have one input and several outputs. When a signal goes through a splitter in the correct direction from one input to the outputs, there's loss. But this screwy path we're talking about would have a signal going in the output and back out another output, which would add even more loss. It seemed that this shouldn't work well at all. In addition, you're talking about Ethernet and the TV signal flying around in and out of these splitters. That's when we did some reading and learned that the cable TV signal is below 1 gigahertz and the MoCA signal is around 1.5 gigahertz. This would help with the interference, but we still didn't know how this could work. We were kind of paralyzed on what to do. Finally, I realized that there was a way to move forward without taking a big risk. I suggested that Steve just buy the TiVo Bolt Plus and leave everything else in place. Don't commit to doing anything. He liked this idea a lot because at least he'd finally get to replace his broken TiVo. Then after he got happy with the idea, now I don't want to say I'm using a technique that wives use to kind of try to influence their husbands, but after he got happy with the idea, I suggested he just pick up one TiVo Mini while he's there. He's going to be buying the Bolt anyway. Just pick up one TiVo Mini and that adapter we needed. And then, he could test it later after we got the Bolt working. Even though he remained doubtful that it would work, at the very least, he'd be able to get that broken TiVo replaced. So he bought the TiVo Bolt Plus, a one Mini, and the adapter from Weak Knees. And they took the hard drive back for a full refund. So definitely a very cool company. Steve shot off a note around this time to Dave Hamilton of the Mac Geek Gab, including our ridiculous coax wiring diagram, asking him whether he thought it could possibly work. Dave said it looked pretty much as inefficient and ridiculous as his own coax network, and that his works great. His Mocha is working fabulously. In reviewing our diagram, Dave noted that we have Frontier, also previously known as Verizon Fios. Turns out, if you have Fios, you probably already have Mocha running in your coax. That means this $80 adapter we bought was unnecessary, and it means we don't have to tap into Ethernet anywhere in the house because any coax jack is already Mocha enabled. Now it's looking easier to at least test this crazy Mocha idea. It might not require a bunch of running around in the attic and replacing things. So Steve plugged the TiVo Bolt Plus into coax in his study, installed the cable card, and had Frontier provision it to the new device. Then he activated the Bolt with the TiVo service. Sure enough, without telling the Bolt anything about our Wi-Fi network, it was able to access channel information and record. So Mocha was working in the house, just like Dave said it would. Since I talked Steve into picking up that one TiVo Mini, it was an easy push to just plug it into coax in another room. I mean, we've already got it. It's not hard. Just plug it in. Now, remember I said the Minis would essentially be clients to the Bolt as a server. All recordings would happen at the Bolt, but recordings could be created and retrieved using any of the Minis. We plugged the Mini into coax in another room, but sadly during setup, it said, I can't find the Bolt. I don't know where it is. In fact, I didn't even know it was called the Bolt. It was an error message that should have had the word Bolt in it, or the server TiVo, but it just had blank there. So it was really kind of hard to read. Anyway, we were sure that this was the problem we'd been expecting. And, we were kind of like, yeah, we knew it wouldn't work, but we were still sad about it. So then I went online and I started searching for people that had this error screen, and I found a ton of people chatting about it. I finally found the two-part solution. Even though the TiVo Minis don't have a monthly fee, it turns out you have to activate them with TiVo at zero cost. Well, that's kind of interesting. Wouldn't have thought of that. But then here's the tricky bit. We activated the Bolt first, so the server up at TiVo.com knew it existed and that we'd paid for the service. And then we activated the Mini, so the TiVo.com server knew about that. But you have to go back to the Bolt and tell it to check TiVo.com, the server's up there, again to find out about the Mini. Kind of weird, but I guess it makes sense that the two need to know about each other. So the order you do it and when you tell which one what's going on actually matters. So finally, we were able to get the Mini to see the Bolt, and it was amazing. All of our fears about sending the Ethernet signal back and forth through all of those splitters were totally unfounded. It worked great, and it was fast. I guess it's comedic that we were surprised, like, who knew? Technology sped up in the last 6 to 8 years. That's crazy. But we were like, wow, these are fast. Anyway, that was kind of funny. So we were so delighted, I ran over to Best Buy, only because Weak Knees was closed on the weekend, and I bought 2 more Minis. We plugged them in, activated them at TiVo.com, told the Bolt to talk to TiVo.com again, and boom, we have TiVo in 4 rooms. Okay, I know I've taken a long time to tell this tale, and it sounds like this was really hard, and who would ever do this? But I know I always make the stories sound longer than they need to be. But let's review all we actually did. We bought the TiVo Bolt and 3 TiVo Minis. We activated the cable card for the Bolt with our internet provider. We activated the Bolt and the 3 Minis with TiVo.com, and then we told the Bolt to talk to the TiVo.com server one more time. That's all we did. So it was really only those 4 little steps. So now, way back at the beginning of the story, I told you to wait to hear why we aren't crazy to pay nearly $1,000 to replace these TiVos. So our cost, again, was $500 for the Bolt Plus and $450 to buy the 3 TiVo Minis. Now, we didn't end up having to pay for the adapter after all, so the total cost was $950. But let's walk through what we were paying for in our monthly fees. To TiVo, let's see, we had one for free because we had lifetime service, but that's the one that died. And the other 2 TiVos were $13 and $20 per month. Not sure why they were different, but I do seem to remember negotiating one of them. So we had $33 a month to TiVo. The cable box was $12 a month to Frontier. Then we had to rent 3 cable cards from Frontier for the 3 TiVos, and those were $5 a month. That's $27 a month to Frontier, and if we add that to the TiVo cost, that's $60 a month total. But in order to keep having TiVo in all those rooms, we would have to replace the dead one anyway, and that was the one without the service fee, so we'd have to add another $75 to turn on the new TiVo, even if we didn't do this crazy mini Mocha idea. So our monthly cost would be $75 a month. Now, for those of you cable cutters, we're just going to throw you a little bone and note that this price does not even include the cost of an actual TV package from Frontier. So now, with the Bolt Plus and 3 minis, we only have to rent 1 cable card from Frontier for $5 a month. All the rest of that cost goes away, and we only have to pay 1 TiVo monthly service fee of $15 a month. It's a total of $20 a month instead of $75. So we're basically going to save $55 a month. Now, if we do some complex cipher in here, we can take $950 in investment divided by the $55 and see that we will pay this off in 17 months. But remember, we were going to replace the big TiVo anyway, so we could look at it as only justifying the cost of the 3 minis. So that would be $450 divided by the $55 a month savings. We pay these back in only 8 months. So now we have much faster TiVo service. We have one centralized place where all our recordings live and can be accessed from any room. Our old TiVos used wireless G, by the way, so they were too slow to transfer shows. Our new TiVos will work with 4K when we're ready for that. And 1.5 to, I would really call it 8 months, we'll actually be saving money. The bottom line is that I can highly recommend the TiVo Bolt Plus with minis over Mocha, and I can highly recommend you listen to Chris Ashley and Dave Hamilton because sometimes they're right. And by the way, we still have no idea why Mocha works in our house.
Now you have to have staying credit by now.
Yeah, I hope so. Well, I didn't want to stop the recording and start over and do all this. So
yeah,
there we go. And I got a cat in the middle of that. Did you notice that?
No, where was she?
She's right here.
Ah.
She's apparently out of the box.
Purring away. Oh, did you let the cat out of the box?
Yeah. By the way, if I bump this, it turns on. So I guess you can just whack anywhere near it and it'll turn on. Maybe that's useful. Did I already say this? Oh yeah, no, I don't think I did. So I was going to do all this work in JavaScript, to write this clock and everything to use for the live show page so we can see what time it is at my house. But I think we'll just put a webcam on this. And when it says at 5 o'clock, then you'll be ready.
That's an efficient way to transmit data.
I think it is.
Video stream instead of just some text.
So did I miss anything?
Kevin's washing machine is acting up, and it's a Maytag. He's had it repaired, so he's going to go ballistic if this is screwing up again.
Did you make fun of the Maytag repairman?
No. We were making fun of Samsung, but it was
no, but I mean the Maytag repairman, that's the classic, right?
Yeah.
Let me hear this break here. The problem. All right, now we were in a okay. But the bad news is it did not solve the problem. All right, now we were okay, I think we got I don't like that sound at the end of that. Over a little bit.
Correction.
What?
Washer is a GE.
Oh,
Maytag has been unjustly accused.
Okay. I was going to say, Maytag repairman, he's got nothing to do. The bad news is it did not solve the problem. All right, now we were in a dilemma. Did not solve the problem. All right, now we were in a dilemma. Do we continue to... Actually, yeah, the voice sounds better with that sound. The, what do you call? High frequency turned down. I like it better. All right. Okay, so now... did that. So now we're going to go back to CES. Who's next? Contact rotated. Now I can't see anything. Oh, ring. Oh, it's Quarter Till. Better quit screwing around.
That was Jamie, wasn't it? The CEO that we interviewed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But his name, he goes by Jay.
Jay?
That's what confused me.
That was
Yeah.
Jamie.
No, it is Jamie, but I'm going to do a little quick recording. Okay, let's start back into CES with one of my favorite companies we talked to there. That sounds... No idea why Mocha works in our house. Okay, let's start back into CES with one... A little bit too long. Move you over. Idea why Mocha works in our house. Okay, let's start back. So we want Ring. I don't think I have time to play any of these for you guys.
Give them the beginning of Ring.
Okay.
In the first 30 seconds. Because as I recall, you're giving Jamie a hard time.
Oh, good. Okay. I would if it would play. What is going on here? Okay. Talk to there.
Well, you guys know I'm a big fan of the Ring video doorbell, and I've been harassing Jamie Siminoff here, the CEO of Ring. We talked about placement of our Ring and how much we like it and the things we've been doing with it, but you got some new stuff to show us today.
We do. So we came out with a floodlight camera, and what this is the same kind of thing we did with the video doorbell, which is we took a place in an area where you had kind of an old device that wasn't smart and wasn't really doing anything for you, added a camera, and really changed the way that people are securing their neighborhoods with it and everything else. So we really sort of like, took that to a next level. All these people have these motion detection.
We have one exactly like that, a motion detection floodlight.
Without the camera.
Right.
So what you get right now is you still get all the same features and functionality of the motion detection floodlight, which means that like if someone walks by, the lights go on. So just like it did before, now you have the added feature of a camera, two-way talk. And so now you can, like in those places where these are put, which is where security is needed, you now have a fully powered camera that you can install on that mount in 5 minutes yourself.
Oh, wow. Wow. So this is, yeah, Steve is saying to the camera, he's yelling, we need that.
Yes.
So this is the case. So it's basically got the same kind of camera on the front, same angle, field of view. What is that to repeat?
So it's 140-degree field of view on the camera, 270 degrees though on the light. So
nice.
Rush is here. That is so exciting. By the way, 2 more people signed up. One definitely because of what you taught us about being able to do the monthly fee, what you and I figured out together. So that's cool. What, Steve?
Can you remind me how you know Rush?
Rush is the guy who asked, how can you set a limit under $1? Because they changed it. You used to be able to do a quarter.
Right.
And they made it where the limit is $1, but he couldn't afford that. So he was able, we went back and the 2 of us kind of dug into it and figured it out together. So
good job, Rush.
yeah. So yeah, another person signed up because of it. So that was definitely worthwhile. All right. This isn't as much me talking as it usually is, but now you get to see Steve too. And
that's the price you pay when you
the cat
come here.
Oh, I should show off my new toy. Whee! I love this thing. That's the Apple Watch. That's the good, but I've got to pair the watch apparently. I found that pretty interesting. That the clock, the watch does not keep the time if it's not paired to a watch, to a phone. There we go. Wow, can you tell that Steve and I are totally sold on the Ring video doorbell? That was a lot of gushing. Not as bad as I was on Belkin, but still definitely a fan. We definitely want to get that Ring floodlight cam too. This is tech that we know is golden, so you know we're going to go with it. All right, this is a really fun interview coming up. We're going to talk to Whoosh. I think I start by explaining I found them in the bathroom, right?
Yes, you do.
Ring.
I think you made him really uncomfortable.
Well, they shouldn't have put their ads in the bathroom.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
So this guy's great. He's like so nerdy.
He's as I recall, he's a PhD or a doctor.
He's a PhD in
bio,
not biochemistry. I forget what.
Biomolecular or something.
Oh, Sandy ordered some Whoosh. Let's see, where's my Whoosh? I keep it right here. This is my Whoosh. So they advertised in the bathrooms. Actually, let's play the beginning of it because it's pretty funny. Talk to Whoosh. Whoops. I don't understand what happens when it does that. Oh, slightly play and then not. Coming up, we're going to talk to Whoosh.
So I am going to start this out a little bit odd, but I was going to the bathroom at CES, and the most amazing marketing campaign I've ever seen was a sticker on the inside of the door that said, "Are you texting right now? Do you know what's on your phone?" And it invited us to go to the Whoosh booth. And I'm here with Dr. Kurt, a PhD in microbiology, has been instrumental in the development of an interesting product for your cellular devices or your portable devices. Why don't you tell us about what we're looking at here?
Allison, we've worked real hard at understanding the marketplace, the needs and wants of people, right down to the consumer level. Then how can we get that through the distribution channels in a way that's got some flash, but
What is happening? I am not telling it to
Flash.
stop.
Did he say some ways that has some flash?
Are you texting?
Let's get back to this guy. All I did was click over to the textual window to try to chat you something, and it
Booth, and I'm here with Dr. Kurt Mental in the development of an interesting product for your cellular device.
hard at understanding the marketplace, the needs and wants of people, right down to the consumer level. Then how can we get that through the distribution channels in a way that's got some flash, but that also brings technology right forward? Because we're talking about tech hygiene is the theme of Whoosh, and the tech hygiene allows us a banner to work under that goes from everything from cleaning the machines with products that are safe to the machines, safe to the environment, and safe to people. That's our stewardship triad that Whoosh lives by. And that, of course, translates really well to the big box companies, to the Bed Bath & Beyonds, to the Staples, the people that would sell these products. But what we've developed is a perfect screen cleaner that has no VOCs and doesn't have any kind of harmful chemicals with it, but cleans the screen and makes it resistant to fingerprints.
hang on a second. I think Tesla's snoring again.
Afterwards. So that's beautiful.
I didn't realize that. They did clean my screen and it looked fabulous, but I didn't know it was also going to resist future fingerprints.
It does, and then you'll find as you use that microfiber cloth, which is antimicrobial treated, so we're not transferring germs from one place to another.
Oh, I actually thought about that when she cleaned my phone and then she cleaned my husband's phone. Was he getting my cooties on his phone?
Good for you, because that's think about a doctor looking at a iPad with a patient, and he's doing his recordings, and then a nurse comes and looks at it. What just happened?
Right.
You know, so we're trying to anticipate some of that too. But on the personal level, I've got my 4-year-old grandchild who's
It's made of cooties.
yeah, I mean, this is it, and she's using it. Then her older sister uses it, and then it does all.
And at daycare and all that, yeah.
Exactly, and they're so competent with this. But so we added an antimicrobial treatment. We have a disinfectant treatment, and then we have an antimicrobial preservative that gives you 24 hours of protection.
Okay, so let's bring this down to the practical level. They handed me a little packet of some juice of some sort and a little cloth. So you spray the juice onto the.
All right. I thought he said at the beginning what his title was. No? He must do it partway through.
Yeah, I thought he did too.
Okay. All right. Here we go.
Wait.
Okay.
Do you want me to give you I can pretty quickly find his title if you want.
No, that's okay. It just, he was like
I think it's in the spreadsheet.
double secret nerdy bomb.
Yeah, he was definitely there.
I've got something written. I'll be okay. I think that was one of my favorite interviews. You know, I love the geeky and nerdy angle. If you could get to talk to the real scientists behind something, and Dr. White did not disappoint. Plus, I'm still using Whoosh and I still love it. In fact, I just showed off during the live show while I was talking to the folks here. I cleaned my phone with Whoosh. Well, Kevin would give me a hard time if I didn't remember to again give Steve credit for all of the hard work he does in these recordings. If you actually paid attention, you'll notice I only wrote one blog post this week, and yet you had a full show thanks to Steve. But that's going to wind us up for this week. Do not forget to send in your dumb questions, comments, and suggestions by emailing me at allison@podfeet.com. You can follow me on Twitter @podfeet. Remember, everything good starts with podfeed.com/whatever you're looking for. Podfeed.com/Patreon, podfeed.com/Facebook, podfeed.com/Google+, podfeed.com/Amazon. And if you would join in the fun of the live show, head on over to podfeed.com/live like Russ Sherman did this week for the first time on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific time and join the friendly and enthusiastic Nosilla castaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed.
So the title we wrote down for him is microbiologist. So and he's a consultant to Whoosh.
Yeah.
Not an employee.
I cannot see out of this contact lens for nothing. Ah, there we go.
It's that cat hair.
Probably is full of cat hair. Check this last one. Let's see. George says, when a loved one's in ICU and wants to see a baby pic, wiping a phone with alcohol is worth it. I don't use it on computer screens, just glass phones in their cases. I would get something made for doing it though, George. Seriously. The phones, some of the phones, at least the iPhones, have an oleophobic coating and you can tear that right off. So I understand if they want to see it, you want to do it for them. But I would be careful and get the right product to clean it for them. That's all. She sprayed her contact with Whoosh. Yeah, probably. I think that was one of my. All right. All righty. I think we are closing in on the home stretch here. Let's go back here to the beginning and let's go minus.
That's a lot of minuses.
It is a lot of minuses, but I got to do that in order to get the ending over where it should be. Where's the outro? Oh, that's right. It's just music on this track. That's what's going wrong. On Chit Chat, I've got I just recorded a stock outro, so I don't have to mess around every week and ad lib. But so I was looking for the second one.
So George points out it has to be sanitary, which is probably why he's using alcohol. But I think the doctor pointed out they were approved as a antimicrobial solution.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's considered the same as sanitary.
Yeah, they actually, if you listen to the interview, George, he used a term that was like a clinical definition of what this did. That was beyond, and that was beyond.
It took him several months to get approval, FDA approval, or FDA approval for that.
Is it FDA, FCC? I don't know, somebody like that.
FCC, right? Yeah, some ICUs don't let phones. Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah,
considering where they may have been.
Yeah, well, not may. Have been. That's one of the things I like, was anybody who admits it. Oh, who was I talking to? I think it was it might have been Rob Dunwood on the SMR podcast. He was talking about how we all pretend we don't use our phones in the bathroom, but he decided to just lean in, and when he goes in, he plays a game and he leaves the game sounds on, so everybody knows he's doing it. It's hilarious. All right, let's see. Friendly and enthusiastic Nosilla castaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. All right, there we go. 36 minutes. Nice. I like about 40 minutes.
Oh, the whole show is 36?
Yeah.
A short one.
Well,
you didn't have a security
without
bit.
chit chat. Yeah, without security bits, it's always I feel good if I hit 40. My original show was 20 minutes, then it went up to 40 minutes.
Yeah, I'd feel good if I hit 40.
File, save as, NCEP. And I wish that contact would go back where it belonged. And we'll go to AIFF and we'll hit save. Saving the document, select main row. What did I do? That's weird. Oh. No, it's because I grabbed the wrong file format. Thank you. It does warn me. I've got to get that contact lens straight. I wear a toric lens for, what is it called? Astigmatism. So if it rotates, I can't, pretty much, it's like seeing through the wrong contact lens. There we go. Maybe. Nope, that's not it yet. All right. It looks like I am in the home stretch. It's 5:59. I will get you guys out of class on time. You seem 27. Steve does, but what about me?
No, I think he was talking about Sandy.
Sandy, you look amazing. Wow. Oh, I forgot to turn NosillaCast on. Oops.
Oh, and no one noticed.
Nope. Maybe I don't need that complexity. State of mind in Vegas, right? All right. I think it is time to call this show. It was very nice of you all to come and keep us company. We had a lot of fun. I think Steve was in a silly mood, so that was good. Say goodbye, Steve.
Goodbye, Gracie.
Wait.
Oh, there she is.
Say it again.
You know why she lays there? The heat out of your display comes out the bottom, right?
Yep. All right. Bye. Bye.